everybody, and welcome back to another Monday Confessions here on the Keri Runs 100 Miles YouTube channel. So today is Confessions for week 2 of my training, and I don't want to say I've messed it up already, but I've had to rearrange some things. So last week I was scheduled to actually run 50 miles on 5 days. However, I didn't really take into account the fact that I was teaching at a 3-day retreat, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And so I was literally gone from Friday to Sunday. And if you're any kind of distance runner, you know those long runs usually happen on Saturdays and Sundays. So it just didn't happen. And so what I decided to do was do a little switcheroo on my training plan. So I was originally supposed to do 50 last week, and then this week was going to be what was called a recovery week on my plan. So that meant that I was going to run fewer days and run fewer miles. So I was scheduled this week that we're in now to run 19 miles minimum. So what I did is I decided, and the writer of my plan, Chrissy Mole, however you say her name, who wrote Running Your First Ultra, probably might kick me in the shins for this, but I switched my weeks. So this past week I did my 19 miles, and then this week I will end up doing my 50 miles and then progressing hopefully and not switching anything else on my training plan. So last week I did 6 miles on Tuesday, 7 miles on Wednesday, which included the dreaded Crystal Bridges Hill, which if you're not from this area, there's this hill called the Crystal Bridges Hill. It's part of the Crystal Bridges Art Museum in Bentonville, Arkansas. And there's a part at the very beginning, which if you've ever done the Bentonville half, it's mile 12. So then you're going uphill. But there's a part at the very beginning, the bottom of the hill, that's approximately 0.2 to 0.25, so just around a quarter of a mile. But it's about 45 degrees and it's switchbacks. So just like this 3 or 4 times. And so I did that up and down about 6 times in the middle of my 7-mile run to get some hill training in. Then Thursday was an off day, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I hadn't officially decided to switch my training weeks yet, so yeah, a little regret there, but it's fine. Friday I did 5, and then while I was at the retreat, I kind of needed some just alone time, quiet time. And so because when you're there, you are surrounded by people all the time. You are busy going. On Saturday, I was going from 5:30 in the morning till about 11 or 11:30 that night. And it's good work and it's good tired, but it's still really tired and no moments to yourself. So I got up early on Sunday and just did a mile. It wasn't much, but it was just back and forth through the retreat center we were at. We were at New Life Ranch in Concord, Oklahoma. A beautiful, beautiful place. And then my friend was there. It's actually my best friend's daughter was there to play keys for me while I led worship. And so she wanted to see the sunrise from this particular hill at the camp. So I went and woke her up, and while she got ready, I did about just 10 minutes of yoga just to kind of stretch out and feel like I was accomplishing something. And then we went on about a 20-25 minute hike. So I was able to get some extra workouts in. It just wasn't necessarily miles. So in total, 19 miles last week. So not too bad, stayed pretty on track as far as once I decided to switch those weeks up. So this week will be 50, with my long runs being a 14 and an 18 on Saturday and Sunday. Super awesome. I only have to work 2 days this week, and they're both nighttime shifts. For those of you that don't know, I work part-time at Kohl's. Hashtag life at Kohl's. And so I'm working just a couple of nights this week. So that leaves my days free to do some of the other stuff I need to do and get those runs in. So I'm super excited to kind of have definitely a lot more wiggle room in this week than I did last week. So the camp that I was actually working at is for an organization called Saving Grace. And for those of you that might not be familiar with it, it is an organization that is transitional housing for girls who meet one of 3 criteria. So either they've aged out of foster care with nowhere to go, they are facing homelessness, or they just have a home life that's not conducive to a good future. And I've worked with this organization for probably 8 to 10 years now, and this is probably my 7th retreat. So every year they invite alumni, so girls who have gone through the program, whether they've graduated or not, who've gone through the program, the current girls in the house, and all the mentors to come in and just spend some time together. So we do some art therapy projects, which is what I'm in charge of when I'm there. We do worship, and which is what also I do while I'm there. And then we have these amazing speakers named Keri and Jennifer, who just really help the girls process and look at life differently and just be able to just kind of shift their thinking, which was super cool. One of the best things that came for me was, because I always get so much out of it, because when I'm not doing stuff, then I get to sit and just listen to these amazing speakers talk. But one thing that they talked about that really hit home for me was the difference between self-care and soul care. And sometimes we kind of put them together, and they're really actually different. You know, self-care is very indulgent, very bubble bath, shopping, reading, you know, some chick lit or whatever it happens to be for you, whatever your self-care, just decompressing, getting away from the world thing is. Whereas soul care takes a lot more work, and it's in depth, and it hurts, and sometimes it's gritty, but it's necessary. And people either do one and not the other, and just don't want to do the dirty work of soul care, which is what we all really need in order to just deal with our junk. And so that was one of the biggest takeaways I took from this weekend. I'm really super excited to announce this, and it's something that whenever I first decided to do this crazy run, of course, if you watched my why video, you know that my big why is that I just wanted to show people that no matter what you've gone through, who you are, what you've done, all that kind of stuff, that you can do big, badass, amazing things. But the more I got to thinking about it, I really wanted to go even beyond just words, and I wanted to, and beyond miles, and I kind of wanted to do something beyond myself to help other people. So I'm super excited to announce that part of this Keri Runs 100 Miles campaign is that I'm going to be doing an ongoing, sorry, I made myself giggle, an ongoing fundraiser for Saving Grace. If you want more information about Saving Grace, you can go to savinggracenwa.org, and you'll see all sorts of cool and amazing things about them. So we're going to start it out easy. We're going to start it out with a Facebook fundraiser. Facebook only allows you to do fundraisers 90 days at a time, so we're going to do the first 90 days. That campaign will be live starting tomorrow morning on the Keri Runs 100 Miles Facebook page. And it's one of those, I'm not going to guilt you into it, but I would love for you just to see what this organization is doing and the changes they are making in these women's lives, and just hopefully be willing to be a part of that like I have been for the last 10 years. I'm actually at the end of this video, I have some really great pictures from the time we had at New Life Ranch this past weekend. You'll see some of these girls that some of this might be the first time they've smiled in a very long time, or laughed, or felt accepted and felt loved, and just felt safe. You know, these girls come from all sorts of different backgrounds. They might be abuse victims, they might be homeless, they might have come out of human trafficking or the sex trade, or there's just such a long, big gamut of what these girls and the trauma they've gone through. We have one girl that was there this weekend who, even though there were, you know, it was a camp, so there were bunks and stuff, she slept on the floor the whole time because that's what she was used to. She hasn't reached the place where a bed feels like safety to her. And so it's just kind of heartbreaking to think, but then in other ways it's great because we have the opportunity as people to just sow seeds into their life of just change and of hope, and learning to trust and learning that they are good enough and that they are worthy of an amazing life. Becky Schaefer is the founder of Saving Grace. She is just thebomb.com. Just has a heart for just seeing people change. She is, because she was that girl. Every girl they come in, whenever they post about her, they call her Grace. And so it's kind of that, it's kind of the nickname they give all the girls whenever they talk about them on social media. You know, Grace has come home, Grace needs this, Grace needs whatever. And so we've heard some amazing stories of Grace, of coming through some traumatic things and coming out on the other side. What's really cool about this is they allow alumni to come back each year as well, and so it's the current girls, their mentors, and the alumni, and it's amazing for the girls that are currently in the house to be able to see these alumni and know that they've come through some of the same things, and that, you know what, if they can, I can too. So I'm going to show you guys some pictures. I hope you will check out the Facebook page, Keri Runs 100 Miles, and check out the fundraiser, and check out Saving Grace either on Facebook or Instagram, or savinggracenwa.org for more information about what this amazing group does. And so I promised my husband I would say make sure you like this video, subscribe for more things on this crazy journey I'm going on, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.